everybody. Welcome back to another episode, bringing it back to a new episode of Brewing It Live. We haven't done one of these in a very long time, and why not now? I'm your host, Brian. I'm joined with my great friend, Sherman. How are you doing today, Sherman?
Doing good, excited for this.
Except he looks like he might be memorizing chess. Sherman, put down the nerd stuff for more.
I'm setting up my windows right now.
For more nerd stuff. And I would have to say a new friend of mine. I met this gentleman at the Face-to-Face Calgary event and instantly hit it off. All of them, actually.
Our life.
Yes.
Lifelong bond immediately. Hello, everyone. I'm Brady Magpie from the Rogues Passage, also a fellow streaming platform, and I'm really excited to be here today.
Yeah.
Get up to some deck brewing.
So we, today, because I'm a total dinosaur nerd, I needed to brew this, and I'll be honest, I don't do these type of counters, so why not bring in some help to help build me a deck, right? Right. I don't really play red, and I don't really play blue, so hopefully Sherman and Brady can help me out with this.
Well, I love counters, so I'm sure I have a lot to say about this. I'm literally holding my Falco Spara deck right now, where I know there's some really cool stuff we can start adding to this, especially things like the new 13th Doctor, which is like anytime you has something to do with counters and drawing cards, I do believe. So, and it's Simic. So.
Ooh, okay, yeah, that actually is pretty good. So I guess we should get into this. I always have my reading screen all the way on the opposite side from my mic, so it's always terrible here. So we have blue, Loyal Raptor, 2, a green and a blue, legendary creature dinosaur, partners with Owen Grady, Raptor Trainer. So for each kind of counter on blue Loyal Raptor, each other dinosaur you control enters the battlefield with a counter of that kind on it.
I love that.
Yeah, right?
So
like it seems great here. And then we have Owen Grady, which, do you know what? I love Chris Pratt. The first Chris Pratt movie that I saw is probably not even safe enough for me to talk about on this show, but fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Deep in the Valley. Go. You can Google it, but I'm not telling you anything more about it. So we got Owen Grady, Raptor Trainer, 1 red and a green, legendary creature, human soldier, scientist. Owen wasn't a scientist. What is, like, I want to yell even more. But so partners with blue Loyal Raptor, you can tap it. Your choice of put your choice of Menachem, Trample, Reach, or Haste counter on target dinosaur. Activate only as a sorcery.
Nice, awesome.
I just realized you can put Curiosity in this.
Yeah. You can do so much.
You know, I like to add Curiosity to the most decks, especially these days. There's a lot of like sweepers or like, you know, any deck that isn't Nekuzar that still wants to deal damage.
My boy.
Enchanting it with Curiosity is awesome.
I didn't even think about that. Do you know what? Like, I play kind of douchey cards here and there, but like I could be worse. I could be worse.
You could play Nekuzar?
No.
He does play Nekuzar.
Buddy.
Hey, no judgment. I just took apart Send triplets.
My go-to was Xyris, and then Nekuzar, then Xyris, and then
Xyris. That's the snakes and the kind of
the same colors actually.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay, so I got some really cool. So obviously for a deck like this one, we're gonna want, you know, especially if it's like +1/+1 counters, you know, things like branching evolutions, probably even leaning into some kind of like armored scales mechanic. If you want to lean into just one kind of counter, I think this one you really want to abuse max percentage of counters.
Actually, blue, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Like digging through Ikoria spells. There's going to be a lot of those kind of in Simic specifically. I'm not so sure because they did a lot of 3-color. Well, they did a lot of 3-color, didn't they?
Yeah,
It was all three. Yeah, there was.
Ikoria, they did a lot, but you also have Streets of New Capenna that also have things like shield
counters. Yeah, absolutely. Shield
So, like,
counters. Well,
Agent's
on top of it, yeah.
Toolkit off the bat.
So what one
Agent's Toolkit. But like,
was
we're
Agents?
we're
Let's see what
jumping
Agents
ahead
Toolkit.
here. Like I don't know how you guys brew. Like when I brew, I always do the boring stuff first,
Okay,
which is mana ramp, card draw.
I would probably agree with you. I would probably start with my mana ramp part. What?
I was claiming to not know anything at all.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Like so.
I think so.
I guess so. Like for me, I'd probably put obviously the Land of War, and then
Well-
Noble Hierarch. No, what's the other one that does it for each color?
Or
Is it Noble Hierarch? Yeah. No.
no, but we're not in white.
Oh, what's the other one? The one that
The other
taps
one's in
for.
Jund. The other one's in Jund.
Oh, okay.
Red, black, green. So like you're. It doesn't matter. We're in green, right? So like I say, start off with like Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, and then you
Okay,
go to, like
yeah, that's-
Nature's Lore, Rampant Grove, Farseek. Like 3 visits. Are we building a budget deck, or are we going all out?
This is whatever we come up with. So this is whatever you. Yeah. So I got Arcane Signet. I got Soul Ring. They're obviously.
Yeah. So Nature's Lore, 3 visits, Farseek.
There's three visits will be 3 visits is a force, correct?
So the same
Yeah.
with Nature's Lore. I'm pretty sure.
Rampant Growth and Nature's Lore, right?
What would you guys like something like Caravan Vigil, which is it's a one for green, and it just brings a basic land to your hand. But if it checks for Morbid, it puts any land or any basic into play. I think tapped, but would you?
What's Morbid?
Morbid is it's like old Innistrad mechanics, so it just checks for any creature dying that turn. Yeah, a very good. If it's going to be a combat deck, you are playing dinosaurs, but you also want to ramp early game. So I don't think maybe it's the kind of, unless you're playing a 1-drop, hasty boy. I don't think it has a lot of traction. If someone's not immediately dropping tokens on the battlefield or something.
Well,
Probably not.
And it all depends upon when you get it too.
because we're in Gruul too, right? So like Rhythm of the Wild, or was it Rhythm of the Wild? The one is like you get Riot. So you get either the creature gets haste or a +1/+1 counter when it enters the battlefield.
Ooh, there's also
Oh, that's cool.
Uncivil Unrest. I have it in my Shalai and Halar deck. It either gives Riot or no. Yeah, it gives one or the other.
I just wrote that without typing in MTG, and that was a Google search.
Okay, so I got Nature's Lore and 3 visits, and you said Rampant Growth?
Rampant Growth.
What about this one, boys? Enter the Unknown. So it's also with Ixalan coming around the corner, and especially for leading to counters matters, assuming that maybe you have like a 1-drop Matador, Birds of Paradise, or anything at all like Alara Winnells. Target creature you control, and it's at sorcery speed. So for 1 green, enter the Unknown. Target creature you control explores, and then obviously it's like revealing the top card of your library. Put that card into your hand if it's a land. Otherwise, put a 1/1 counter on the creature, or put that card back, or put it into your graveyard. So there's a lot of options there. And then you may play an additional land this turn for 1 green.
That one's not bad, especially for additional. If you want to do the explore mechanic, you're better off with Path of Discovery.
Yeah, hey.
So, because that one is a 3 and a green, and whenever a creature enters the battlefield, you explore.
Oh, I love that card. Yeah, yeah. Enchantment too. So
I do like playing an additional land this turn.
An additional land a turn is really nice. So like let's just keep it in there. Like we don't need. We're early on. We don't need it yet.
Yeah, that's exactly. My real go-tos are usually burgeoning and exploration.
Exploration, I like burgeoning. I've slowly stopped putting in my decks just because, like, unless you have a lot of card draw, you don't see its use too often.
So you said you liked exploration, but you did not like burgeoning.
yeah, burgeoning is whenever an opponent plays a land, you get to put a land from your hand to the battlefield, right?
Correct.
For one
And if
green.
you started off and you go 1 land burgeoning,
I mean,
And
I
then-
like both of them.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I would myself run both.
But it does get burned at the end. At the end, if you like pull it like turn 7, you're like, But I just put it down because then it's a target.
I have no problem with the turn 1 burgeoning. That sounds great.
Especially if you have like three or 3 lands in hand. Come back around
How
to
many-
turn 3 or turn 2 with like 3 lands.
How many other green decks on the table? Right on. Let's do this.
Okay, so I'll throw it on there since that was 2 out of 3. Ignorable. Yeah, is the gent one. Yeah. Chat. I think it is Tanner that's in the chat room. Genesis Project. Please, if you have any ideas, type it in the chat. I'm keeping an eye on you. I got you. Any talismans, or do we want to go
No,
with?
we're in green. We don't need talismans. We don't need. We play with.
Wow, this is you saying no artifact? Sure. Okay, teach me your ways.
Farseek.
Farseek?
Tribe Elder.
Okay, Farseek. Farseek's a good one.
Fertilid.
You know what? I love Fertilid. I always got Fertilid.
Do you know what?
And you can mess up someone's top deck. Honestly. It's
I
really strong.
forgot how good Fertilid really is.
Fertilid will be really good in this one just because, like, if you get a 1/1 counter, like, thrown on, you know, like, you're getting even more lands, right?
You can keep replacing it can be like, you know, with the right cards, like a near infinite engine, depending on like the amount of like basics you have in your deck.
Oh, yeah, that reminds me. Are we going infinite in this deck or not?
Is this combo? Oh, synergy.
I like synergy. I stopped doing combos.
Okay,
You know,
sorry.
you guys.
I got Farseek.
Brain.
I
I'm
got-
a half and a half. But yeah.
Okay, we
I
got.
have 2.
So we said Farseek and what other card?
You have like Secure Tribe Elder if you really want.
Oh, yeah, Fertilid.
Genesis Project is like, I'll toss in whatever I can between chasing this toddler.
How do I
Yeah,
spell
you just see
Fertilid?
the baby upstairs is making a racket.
There we go. Good old 35-cent Fertilid.
I think that's pretty good for ramp.
Okay, so we got Fertilid, Burgeoning, Exploration, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet. I can't scroll on the stream screen. And Enter the Unknown, Farseek, Nature's Lore, Rampant Growth, and 3 visits. And I'm pretty sure if you guys update the link that I sent you, you should see what I see.
I am pretty sure. Yeah. Now we got those down. That's pretty much our ramp. And then from there, I normally go with card draw. And then after that, I throw in whatever synergies.
See, we're in blue, and I'm a terrible human being, and I'm always going to say Rustic Steady.
Yeah, throw it in.
I mean, if you want to spend $50, do it. Do you, boo? Or proxy, who cares?
Like,
Hey, apparently Muxfield says it's $39.
We don't have a budget right now, so if you want to make a budget, we can.
Sure, let's go. Let's at least try to keep it somewhat budget. I'll remove the Rustic Study for the time being because we do have Exploration Burgeoning. They have a pretty good price point to them. So what, Brady? What do you typically go for draw in these colors? Red, blue, greens.
Red, blue, green, and Tamir.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I always cycle through every. I lean heavily into anything, like especially if I'm undecided on a hand, like looting or rummaging, like drawing, discarding, or discarding to draw. I always go for basics, especially for is this Tamir?
I believe it is. Yeah.
So it's Tamir. So yeah, I would be running instant speed things like big score or faithful salvaging, things like that.
Big score. I haven't heard of that one before.
It's discard 2
Green or
cards,
red?
create 2 treasure.
Yeah.
I do believe at instant speed.
Yeah. So a 3 and a red.
Sorcery speed.
So instant, as an additional cost to cast a spell, discard a card, draw 2 cards, and create 2 treasures.
Cards like that I quite appreciate. Yeah, instant speed. I love that. So honestly, at the end of the day, I do a lot of like madness cantrips if I can get away with any, or not even madness. I have a few madness decks, but especially if I'm leaning heavy into any kind of card like Big Score or Tormenting Voice or any of that kind of stuff, or Tormented Voice. I want something to at least back up all the other effects that are coming from a card, especially if I'm leading into card draw. So I'll have a permanent that usually, combos off me discarding it all. Especially if I'm going very heavy into discarding like wheels, I'll always have something like a containment construct to kind of make up for it, depending on the pace of the deck. But otherwise, honestly, sometimes I just rely upon other permanents in the colors to make up for it as well. So if this is Temur, frankly, actually, this is a color combination I don't play too much of. But honestly, I'd probably throw in anything that periodically, like whenever. So, what's that one enchantment? Every time you cast an instant or sorcery, you investigate. Things like that. I'd combo off of that. Anything that combos off of clues. Yeah, clues.
So there's a lot when it comes to this stuff. So
we're doing creatures, so we could use Beast Whisperer.
Yeah, so 100%. Guild, something in the Guild Pact.
You can also do like Guardian Project as well.
Oh yeah, Guardian.
Yeah. Things like I don't know, Colossal Majesty, the beginning of your upkeep. You'd have to wait for your upkeep trigger, and sometimes that can be messed with. But Colossal Majesty, the beginning of your upkeep. Draw a card if you have a creature with power 3 or greater, and dinosaurs. Ooh. You might very well likely have that. As a 3-drop enchantment.
What was that one?
Colossal Majesty. It is a beginning of upkeep trigger, so again, like that can
How do I spell that?
Colossal? What is that? This Colossal.
Spelling was not my strong suit. Is it C-A-U?
Colossal. Yeah, it's Colossal.
So that one at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, draw a card. There's a card that's better than this.
Grux Uprising, or
sorry,
is it Grux Uprising? It's Grux Uprising, isn't it? Something like that.
It's Elemental Bond.
Oh yeah, I love that one. Yeah.
Elemental Bond does a 3 power instead of 4 power. 2 and a green. Garruk's Uprising requires power 4 or greater, I believe.
On ETB, but this is pretty splashy. So upon ETB, for 3 mana, if it checks for power 4, you get to draw a card. Creatures you control have trample, so that's pretty cool for dinosaurs. And then whenever a creature, if it doesn't already have trample, let's be honest, and whenever a creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield and you control, draw a card. So I think you can combo off more with that as opposed to waiting for your upkeep. And it's a 3-drop enchantment. That's fancy. And there's dinosaurs on the cover.
There we go.
Legit, there's a couple dinosaurs, brontosaurs. I don't know.
For me, for my draw, I guess it's not really draw, but I guess top deck manipulation. I like Mirari's Wake. No, Mirari's Guile. Sorry, Mirari's Guile.
Well, you're playing blue, so Soothsaying. Soothsaying is powerful. Yeah, for 1 blue, you can basically drop this enchantment that has 2 of the following. Look at the top X cards of your library for X, then put them back in any order. And then for 5, 2 pips, 2 blue pips, you can just shuffle your library. So for your first turn, if that's your first turn play, your second turn, you're basically slowly, incrementally give yourself an advantage of constantly looking and rearranging your top deck. Or late game, especially because this is actually my Falco deck, I can guaranteedly synergize with Falco's ability and just wrap off and combo from everything that I can play from the top of my deck. But I don't know. What do you guys think of Soothsaying?
I'm iffy on it just because it does require a lot of mana to.
Yeah, for max value for sure. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, like we can once again we can just throw it in for now and then decide after, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah,
especially if you're leaning into top deck manipulation, I would vouch for Soothsaying. But if it's just like a luxury, I'd say, why would you do that?
I think right now it's a luxury because our goal is to, when we cast the creature, we drop it right away, right? So if you want to do top deck manipulation, then there's a lot of things that we can do, like we can play creatures from the top of our library if we want to do that.
Yeah. What I kind of meant by top deck manipulation was, but Mirari's Guile is a single green. During your upkeep, you may look at the top 3 cards of your library and then put them back in any order. I like it because you could do the library, Sylvan's library. I just don't like losing all of that life for the cards, so I prefer Mirror's Guile over the library.
Well, I say with Mirror's Guile is good for a slow play, but if you're gonna draw a lot of cards, Mirror's Guile is kind of a dead card in my opinion. Because if you're like drawing into like 2 to 3 cards a turn, then you don't need to manipulate.
That's very true.
So like you're better off with things like if we want to turn through things like we're in blue, right? So there's things like Frantic Search, right? Where you're just
draw 2 cards, untap, draw 2, discard 2, untap 2, right?
untap 3. So it's
Untap
basically
3.
a free spell in a sense.
At instant speed, right? I like that
At
card.
instant speed, right? You have
That's
other
true.
things like Faithless Looting, which is a common thing. It has flashback.
Sorry, I got Frantic Search. You said Faithless Looting?
Yeah, Faithless Looting, 1 red.
Not
Draw
the
2
terrible
cards,
art.
and it has flashback.
There we go. Faithless Looting.
There is that. I mean, how dinosaur focused are we? Because I can think of a number of cards, but they're just not dinosaurs. Are we leaning into? Yeah, we're leaning into dinosaurs, right? So this is the type of deck.
We can lean toward dinosaurs, or we can lean to whatever. It doesn't really matter, to be honest.
So I think we do have a good portion of cards that allows us to draw. Or do we want more in here? So we're currently at 20 in the main deck.
You know me, I always love a draw, so I'm gonna.
I am gonna
give up for now.
put in Beast Whisperer.
Oh yeah, we didn't put that in, did we?
No, because I do like it because I know that there's a lot of creatures that make tokens. So I think if we're going to be, because like to me, like they're pardon. Oh yeah, well yeah. So like even if someone counters your creatures, at least you're going to get something.
Yeah. Well, in terms of that, then what about Archmage Emeritus? It's the same mana as Beast Whisperer, and it checks for copying. So if you copy at all, you get a draw card. But otherwise, upon cast of instant or sorcery, you just basically draw a card. And if you're storming off to do a bunch of cool, silly shit, pardon my language, putting all your stuff on creatures and then spreading them around, I think that's a really good addition for that.
Yep.
It is a good addition. It's not bad price for it either.
It's just 4. They're basically the same price. I actually, what do you think of this one, boys? For ramp. So this is called Biophagus. This came from the Tyrannid deck. This is a mana dork. Cost for 2, 1 green. It has Pneumatic Enhancement, which is add 1 color of any color. If this mana is spent to cast a creature spell, that creature enters with an additional 1/1 counter on it. That's kind of fun.
What was the name of it?
Biophagus. Biophagus.
Yeah, it's from the Warhammer stuff.
Yeah, there's a little Tyrannid human.
That one is a really good one. How many? What's
Yeah,
the price of
actually.
that one? Ooh, that one's pricey.
99
Oh,
cents. No, $8.99. I was like, be like, that's
Really?
cheap.
It's good because you're getting a +1/+1 counter on it, right?
Yeah.
So
Ooh,
like it
That's
synergizes really well.
Brady did mention it earlier. Hardened scales. I know we're not there yet, but they'll throw hardened scales in.
There's a number of those now. Oh my goodness, like the new Ozlith. They're all in my Chishro deck, and it makes a difference when you have that as your main synergy, like the winning component. Like I'm just going to take every turn and bolster my stuff by 5x or like X or more counters, and it's just insane. Then the damage you're.
Well, there's also that new Cami too that came out.
Brian, heads up real fast here. Genesis is
Is it tag quiet?
we need to turn up the mic a bit.
Sounds good. See, he sounds good to me.
Kami.
So that's where.
Speaking of Kami,
Yeah.
what about this? This is cool. I know you just throw in Kami, so my ADHD is taking over. So this is Kami of Celebration. Whenever a modified creature you control attacks, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. And then it says, whenever you cast a spell from exile, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Mono red. Costs 5 mana. What do you think of that? That's pretty spicy. I love that. That can potentially really ruin, let's say, if you are top deck manipulating, your chances of maybe playing anything, especially when it comes to impulse drawing. You really got to be careful with your plays, especially because it's chaotic. So maybe, this would be the chance to play this in a top deck style manipulation deck. You get max benefit from things that you, especially if it's like a bunch of land, you're like, okay, I can deal with that. But,
So I think we could get away with this if we were going to maybe run both of the red Elder dinosaurs.
Oh, like Italian and whatnot?
Yeah. Italian, the new Infecty one.
We can hang on. We can keep it for now, and we can take a look at our curve and see what we have after, and just go from there.
That's very true. The one I was thinking of, Cammy of, what is it?
What are you thinking of?
Let me find it.
So my next question is, if we do want to go in this direction, like, do we want to do a dino theme or just any kind of creatures that make sense?
And really, as long as it makes sense, like, it doesn't have to be dinosaur themed. We could just go into we could go into just the tokens, right? But it does say dinosaur. Like
like max efficiency changeling.
That's very true. Oh, Cammy of Whispered Hopes. It's
Dino just because Blue Loyal Raptor does say Dino.
Yeah, that's like it's on that card. So, but so
I know it is.
Cammy of Whispered Hopes is tuna green, and it also helps us ramp. If one or more +1/+1 counters would be put onto a permanent you control, that many +1/+1 counters are put on that permanent instead. So it just add the +1/+1 counter, but you can also tap it, add X mana of any one color, where X is the Cammy of Whispered Hope's power. So you can buff it, but it's not a dinosaur, so I don't like we won't be able to give our dinosaurs tokens and stuff.
Looking at some dinos here. Well, not really quick, but
So going into, I know I have a dinosaur in here that I'm going to want to put in here, or at least give an idea for it.
I like that one quite a bit. Agent's Toolkit enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter, a flying counter, death touch counter, and a shield counter. I really like the shield counter the most.
That is actually, I like that.
So, because then, like, you have protection, and you can give protection like constantly to everything else.
That's very true. Okay. Agent's Tool.
Ooh. That gives you Karcher as well. So, I just found an interesting enchantment for the deck here, boys.
Ooh.
For 3, it's called Family's Favor. Whenever you attack, put a shield counter on target attacking creature. So there's a lot that really helps with, especially in combat. Until end of turn, it gains whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, remove a shield counter from it. If you do, draw a card. So if it already has a shield counter, and there's a lot of ways you can time that, but I really like that.
What was it called?
Oh, you know what we should put in?
Family's Favor.
So throw that in for now, Brian. I'm thinking of Evolution Sage at the same time.
Ooh, Evolution Sage and Flux Channeler for the deck. Absolutely, as assistant
so we can
cards.
proliferate.
Oh, that would be so rude.
So we got Family's Favor and what?
Family's Favor first, and then Evolution Sage. It's not and Flux Channeler. They're not dinos, but they proliferate.
But they'll be so strong for the deck. You won't even care, and they'll be on curve as well because they're both 3 mana. One's blue, the other's green. It'd be awesome. Yeah,
I can't spell. Eveld. Oh, my brain shut off after.
You know, if you had a lot of fetch or a lot of card draw synergies, you can probably justify a Maskwood Nexus. And by adding that, that'll basically give all your creatures Changeling, and you can just get away with your combo from the rest of the game from there, unless it gets destroyed. That'd be cool.
That's very true. So I got Evolution Sage. What was the next one?
Flux Channeler.
Flux.
Yeah.
I know how to spell
So
flux.
anytime you cast a non-creature spell, it proliferates.
All right. So dinosaurs. Just kind of looking at my collection here. We do have Gigantosaurus, which is 5 green for a 10/10.
Do we want to put in Gulta Primal Hunger or not?
I was gonna say Galta's right here, looking pretty.
Oh. Here's a guaranteed for the deck. Topiary Stomper. Absolutely. So for 3, 2 green pips, but for 3, Plan Dinosaur, Vigilance, when it enters the battlefield, search your library for a basic land, put into the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. And then it can attack or block unless you control 7 or more lands. But you know what? Turn 3 for a 4/4 Dinosaur with Vigilance? Love that.
Plus you're ramping.
Yeah.
What was the name on that one?
For that one.
I can get that for my Clones deck. That's great. I love that.
What was that name?
Topiary Stomper. Topiary Stomper. It's from New Capenna. Can you imagine just walking the streets there and seeing that bad boy?
Oh, this one. He actually has fancy art. I like it. So this card came out, I think it could be fun. Came out in the Lord of the Rings set. Elven Chorus. 3 and a green. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast creature spells from the top of your library. Creatures you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color.
Oh, so that is basically, what is that? That's Prophet of Krufix's ability on an enchantment? No, wait, you make tap? No, so not quite. There's no flash. But that's broken. Wow, that's so strong. A Cryptolith Rite with a look at the top card. You may cast creature cards from the top of your library. That is amazing. That should absolutely go in the deck, I think. I mean, well, like how many low to the ground creatures that aren't going to be mana dorks, though? That's what I got to ask.
Well, it makes all cards mana dorks.
Yeah, especially if are you going to be potentially making a lot of dinosaur tokens? Because that'll be your juice. That'll be your juice.
Okay, so I got
That's
2 more
amazing.
here that I like to have, just because, once again, I like card draw.
It's power. It wins you the game.
Yep.
Ripjaw Raptor.
Ooh.
Whenever it's 2 green, whenever it's dealt damage, you draw a card.
Sorry, what? Something jaw? Something jaw raptor?
Ripjaw.
Ripjaw. Sorry, for some reason I heard root jaw.
No, it's all good.
Jaw.
The other one that I'm iffy on, that we can throw in for now, but we might cut, is Runic Armasaur.
Well, that's the sacrifice to get rid of something, right? Enchantment or artifact?
It's whenever an opponent activates an ability of a creature or land that isn't a mana ability to draw a card.
Oh yeah, the stacks piece.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The only problem is that, like, more and more
How do you spell that one?
games are turning into triggered abilities as opposed to activated abilities.
Yeah. Runic Armasaur. So RUNIC Armasaur. Runic Armasaur.
I spelt it like rune, like RUIN.
Welcome to the Into the Night and I, where it's also a spelling bee.
Yeah, right? That's magic for you, though.
Yeah.
I actually like this one. I actually put it in my decks in the past.
You got. Well, sorry. Riptile Raptor is in the list, right?
Yep.
Yeah. But,
Ooh, what was it? What's the blinky one? Polymorph Raptor?
yeah, Polymorph, whenever you deal damage to it, you create another copy of it.
So we could
That
put
would
in
be
the... Yeah, that's true.
Polyraptor?
Yeah.
Oh, it does cost 8 mana though, but that's a lot of fun. You're only gonna be creating a copy of the original though, which is still devastating. And then you can basically keep replicating it and then keep applying, putting a whole bunch of weird tokens on counters on all your stuff. But at 8 mana, I don't know, you're gonna be that's kind of a hard cut for me.
We're in green, so like we might as well throw in a wayward Swordtooth.
I mean, it is a dinosaur itself. It's not like any other permanent. I hear you. Yeah.
Because then you can play an additional land each turn.
And the dinosaur.
There's a lot of juice in these dinosaurs. Are we also looking up any of the future dinosaurs?
Oh, yes. Yeah, we can use the future ones.
Let me bring those up. I haven't really checked them out yet.
This could be a potential, so again, not dinosaur, but it can really, really affect the game. This could be game winning, actually. Slippery Bog Binder. It's got Flash. It's a human druid. Costs 4 mana. Has hexproof. And when it enters the battlefield, put a hexproof counter on target creature. Then move any number of counters from among creatures you control onto that creature.
Actually, yeah.
That could be an unblocked creature.
The Ozolith.
Swarm out. Yeah. The Ozolith on the battlefield, that'd be ridiculous. Move any number of among creatures you control onto that creature. So it has to be creatures among creatures you control, or counters among creatures you control. But yeah, no, that at flash speed for 4, when you're already working with a curve of big dinosaurs and something that I think at 4 mana, that's very, very strong.
So, question.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to put it on Ozolith or not, just because it is expensive?
I
mean,
I think it
costs 1
fits. It fits into the theme. Like,
Yeah,
if we only have
like,
so many
money-wise costs, right?
currently,
Be gone with reason. Go for it. No.
we're at $210
Already? Good lord!
Oh, well, I mean,
at 35 cards.
Yeah.
surprising.
I'm used to doing budget decks, so
I'm not, but I'm getting into it. I'm starting to love it. It's actually because working within budget is almost like playing Pauper, you know? Like there's this weird realm with it.
Tanner actually mentioned, so saw that card in the cabinet at Phoenix yesterday. Still $20, surprisingly. Oh, and you made the comment about my Eagles. I got the Eagles flag and Super Bowl champion photo. At my house, and my room's painted in the Eagles colors.
Stop rubbing it in.
I'm trying to think of what else, because okay, we're gonna have to go on some searching here.
Oh, what are we at right now? Let's take a look at our deck here. So yeah, we're at 210. How many cards are in here so far? We're getting up there. Go away.
Let's go scribe.
Our curve sucks.
Our curve does suck, but we don't have any Llanowars or anything in there to bring it down, really.
Not yet. But, well,
Cryptolith Rite, by the way, I was going to mention Cryptolith Rite earlier. It is a 2-drop enchantment that does do the same thing as that one enchantment that you brought up. It just gives all your creatures the means to tap for any color.
you know what would be fun in a deck like this if we can pump out things quickly? Song of Freyalise. I know it's a saga.
No, that's strong. It does the same thing as well. And then
Yeah,
also
it's the
puts
same
1
thing
counters on your creatures.
Yeah, so
I think
it
it's
goes
an
with
indestructible
speed.
touch. I would absolutely, I would just compound it again. Like if you are potentially just creating like a bunch of Dino tokens to offset some of the bigger mana costs from some of the bigger dinosaurs, assuming that this is what I keep expecting. Because whenever I think dinosaurs, I think, the Polyraptor, which costs 8 mana. So, or like Gishath, like big mana cost spendings like that. So I don't know if this is a more curb deck and it's going to be more shenanigans and more max benefit from things like that. I think I can adjust my thinking in terms of what you're wanting from this, because I keep thinking big.
We do have, so currently 6 sorceries, 11 enchantments, 4 artifacts, 12 creatures, 2 instants, and our commanders.
Don't have enough dinos, in my opinion.
I like new best friends. I'm fine with new best friends. Okay, so
You gotta throw Natalie at least.
Atali?
Atali is just really, really amazing. No matter what, even if it makes people grumpy and it makes you table Nemesis for a moment, you're at least going to, on average, not whiff. Like, it does happen. Sometimes people just peel a bunch of lands. But the amount of times that Tanner upstairs, bless his heart, pops off with Atali and it just takes everything from us with multiple combat strategies, and you're like, oh. He goes from like no permanence on his board state to a bunch, and then he's also removing things or drawing cards or basically stealing your strategy. I would absolutely add in Tully. If there's even a chance that you can create like a weird copy of it, like a non-legendary copy in Tamir with your dinosaurs, I think that'd be savage. It'd be so silly. I love that. I'm just going to attack with 4 Tullys. Like, damn.
Actually, do we kind of want to go and make token copies of stuff?
It would be fun.
That does sound fun.
That way, it also offset. If you keep compounding your deck with enchantments that allow you to tap for any color, then the more copies of weird things you're making, especially max value abilities like Polyraptor or Riptide, like any of those, like the more there are, the more like you're just going to be fetching lands to the battlefield. You're going to be drawing cards. You're going to be dealing, especially Enrage. Enrage is one of my favorite mechanics to hide behind, and if you're making a lot of these Enrage tokens, that just sounds awesome. You can add in a few cards that aren't dinosaurs, like Estrix or even Ajax and Niv, because you are playing Tamir, so you can just.
I was thinking Ajax and Niv as soon as you were like, we can make tokens.
It's gonna get up. It's gonna start immediately going up. Like if you want to go tokens, which usually, in my opinion, wins games. I have a lot of token decks, unfortunately. I think like you overwhelm, and especially if you're really leading to some strategies that like are using them for fodder, like sacrificing the draw cards. Or if they're checking for, like ETBs, like, especially if you're throwing in things like impact tremor damage, especially in Tamir, that's always the thing you can do. You can throw in a Perforos just because, whatever, never treat him like a dinosaur, just like an enchantment, and then you're just moving out, everyone's dying.
One of the dinosaurs that I always typically do enjoy is Verdant Sun Avatar.
That's fun. You gain life from that one, right?
Yeah.
That's the ETB gain life, yeah.
Whenever Verdant Sun Avatar or another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain life equal to the creature's toughness. 5/5. But, never mind. I'm dumb. I was spelling Italy all the wrong way. I was naming it like Atali. E or A.
Etali.
Yeah, I'm dumb. I get it.
I mean, that's its own podcast for a lot of people out there because they're using Spanish and then Mayan and Aztec. I think right? there's a whole different array of multiculturalism going on with the new Ixalan, and they've been nailing it and also really messing up, especially when it comes to naming creatures that have almost nearly impossible names to pronounce if you don't understand them linguistically. So I still love it though. It makes me, because I've heard a lot of Spanish speaking people actually read these names, and it's like it's ear candy. I love it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So are you putting both the Primal Storm and the Primal Conqueror?
Okay.
No, that's not. That was a question. So Italy Primal Conqueror. Trample. When Italy Primal Conqueror enters the battlefield, each player exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a no-man card. And that's 9 and the Phyrexian Forest to transform it. And it becomes Primal Sickness. And then we're doing poison counters.
Poison counters?
Yeah, it's the back gets toxic.
You can. We do have Proliferate going, but we only have 2 cards with Proliferate, so we'll see.
The Tarrasque. Wow, that's a mana curve.
We should probably let's see here. What is our curve right now? Oh, horrendous.
Yeah, terrible.
Okay.
Ooh, I think I just found a must for the deck. Ancient Imperiosaur. So this came out in March of the Machine. It's got Convoke. Trample Ward 2. It does cost 7 mana with 2 green picks, but 2 green pips. But Ancient Imperiosaur enters the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it for each creature that convoked it. And it starts off as a 6/6. So especially if you're leading to clones or tokens,
Could be a 20/20.
Not bad.
Trample with Ward 2.
Yeah.
If it didn't have Ward 2, I'd be like, okay. But I love the Ward. No, especially with that kind of...
If we think about it's Ward 2, but with other tokens that we could potentially give it.
Yeah. Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
Could, do some protection and interaction. So like heroic intervention, stuff like that.
Tameo Safekeeping, which also has something to do with counters, right? Hexproof until end of turn, and then gives a... or is it hexproof and indestructible and gives a counter? Or is that Snakeskin Vial? I think both of them. Yeah, both of them put counters. So I think I would opt for both.
It's like X and a green.
What was it? Tamio's what?
It's that Tamio Safekeeping.
Oh, there it is. Okay, see that here. Target permanent you control gains hexproof and indestructible until your next turn. You gain 2 life.
And, this is going to be so strong for the deck, especially because we're working with modified ranges, right? Silk Guard. This is fantastic. So it's a 1 green and an X. At instant speed, put X 1/1 on up to each X target creatures you control. Auras, equipments, modified creatures you control gain hexproof until end of turn.
Modified creatures would be anything that has the counters, right?
Yeah, anything with a counter on it.
Or weapons.
Love that. And then automatically,
Yeah, it's really good. Let's throw in another creature real fast here, just because ran into it. Taurine Mauler.
Oh God, yeah.
Taurine Mauler? That's a changeling. It checks for it too. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
We need that.
It's one of my favorite things to fling. It's in my Zeator deck. Come back. The cards to fall from my table was a lumber. That's funny. It's a joke there.
Okay, so we got Taurine Mauler.
Yeah, how many dinos do we have now?
Ancient Imperiosaur, Atali, Ripjaw Raptor, Runic Armasaur, Taurine Mauler because it's a changeling, Topiary Stomper, and Wayward Sawtooth. 8.
That's not much.
I turned him up a little bit, Daniel, because I saw your comment.
Ooh. He's in the house.
Oh, for your protection spells, I would add in Snakeskin Vial.
Put in Form of the Dinosaurs, you coward. It's on theme.
Yeah.
What is this Form of the Dinosaur? Let's...
Okay. You know
so,
what we should do?
So we got... sorry. What did he say we should put in? Form of the Dinosaur. It's 4 and 2 red enchantment. When Form of the Dinosaur enters the battlefield, your life total becomes 15. At the beginning of your upkeep, Form of the Dinosaur deals 15 damage to target creature an opponent controls, and that creature deals damage equal to its power to you. That's funny.
There's so many ways for that to misfire, but it's fun.
That's why he calls us cowards.
So, with the stuff that we have in, we do have a few things that are targeting our creatures here and there because of the protection and everything. We can throw in Orvar.
He said, "Don't do it. It's really bad."
If we're going for the counters matter, yeah. I mean, like
if you do Orvar the off form, he's a changeling as well, so it counts as a dino.
And he'll just pop off your board state. Just absolutely, yeah. Honestly, if you end up wanting to go the clones route, absolutely 100%. Does he himself has changeling, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, then add him 100%. I mean, he's like $25, but
no, apparently he's $9.99. Or at least that's what Moxfield's saying. But I have an Orvar, so we're fine here.
Well, once again, like we still gotta modify this like crazy because it's all over the place, right? So
go for this one. It's perfect. What are you talking about?
Oh, what? You were mentioning a card, Brady, that I totally missed.
Yeah, no, for your protection. So, not Silk Guard. Tamio Safekeeping.
Yeah,
no, Snakeskin Vial. Yeah, it's the same. It's basically the same as Tamio Safekeeping. For 1 green, put a counter on something, it gains hexproof, and I think this one is indestructible. Snakeskin Vial. I swear. No, just hexproof. But yeah, no, still. Oh, and there's if you want to bling it out, the absolutely gorgeous Mystical Archive Strixhaven version. just spectacular. It's so beautiful. Oh,
Daniel says Tyvar's Last Stand.
Tyvar's Last Stand is amazing as well, and you can beef something up. You can it's XX, I do believe, or is it X in power? But yeah, no, it's the same thing as any of these spells. Tyvar's Last Stand. Yeah, that's a good suggestion.
Oh, it's Tyvar's Stand. 1 X and a green. Target creature you control gets +X/+X and gains hexproof.
Yeah, that's
And
brilliant,
indestructible.
especially for your trampy boys. Absolutely, 100%.
Okay,
Especially if
throw in
it's-
one more creature here.
Okay.
This one will actually help us quite a bit. Is Amoeboid Changeling.
Nevoid Changeling.
Yeah. So shapeshifter.
Can you spell that for me?
So AMOEBOID.
Thank you.
Amoeboid. It's like amoeba, but amoeboid. Oh, that hurts. It's so good though. It's
One in a blue. Okay, and you tap it. You can target creature gains all creature types until end of turn, or target creature loses all creature types until end of turn.
that's
We
pretty.
do have a lot of
very
things that
common.
aren't dinos.
Yeah.
So
That's
this
amazing,
one
yeah.
actually helps quite a bit.
Oh, wait a second. There's a spell. I mean, it's in my Alaplani deck. When creatures you control get +3 in attack and have all creature types until end of turn. I'm trying to remember.
Do we want to add in Mespwood Nexus? Or do we really have any Anthem? We don't really have any Anthem stuff.
We don't need it.
Ooh, there's the Search for Dinosaurs one. That came out in Ixalan.
Yeah.
Crap. I should just search it up.
What do you think of this? So it's in red. Volatile Claws. Until end of turn, creatures you control get 2 in power, and gain all creature types. At instant speed, it costs 3 though. It's really, 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 really strong as a response to my Atlaplani deck, especially if I have like maybe a few lure, because mine's big bad creatures. So if there is already just maybe a few and people are already freaked out, all I have to do is usually cast that in response to a field wipe, and I guaranteedly get 3 creature drops from the eggs. So I don't know if there's something you do with that. You would have to time this before, because what's the commander again? What does he do? So
I'm an idiot. Actually,
you'd have to time it right, yeah.
that is a sorcery. Not a big deal. You know what? I'm an idiot.
Don't say that.
should throw in Free from the Real.
Ooh, that's to tap and untap, right?
Yeah, so because then we can tap and untap Owen Grady to give whatever counters to anyone. Sure, it's sorcery, but we just do it on our turn.
Is Free from the Real sorcery speed?
You tap them and untap them.
No, it's but the ability on Owen can only be done during sorcery speed.
That's
Add
sorcery.
speed. Yeah. How do you abuse that? How do you get around that?
Can't.
Is there anything?
Sorcery speed?
Yeah.
You don't. So they did that on purpose.
I know. I mean, it's fair. It's break. They would.
But at least
Ooh.
with Free from the Real, like if you have a bunch of blue, like we haven't even thrown counter spells yet, right?
No.
But like since we're in blue, we can just tap the blue to untap him and just give like 2 or 3 counters on like one dino if we want to. So it just works for the synergy.
So we do have, I've seen a couple here which I think could be funny. Fungosaurus.
That's old school.
It's a 2/2. Whenever Fungosaurus is dealt damage, put a +1/+1 counter on it.
Fungosaurus.
Yeah.
FUNGU.
Like 3rd and 4th edition back in the day.
Yeah, and it costs a 3 and a green.
Yeah. 3 or 2 in the green?
3 and a green.
2 in the green.
Oh, 3 and a green.
Oh, man.
But there's also Drowsing Pteranodon, which is 1 and a green. It's a 3/3 defender. As long as you control a creature with power 4 or greater, Drowsing Pteranodon can attack as though it didn't have a defender. So that's cheap. It's cheap. And then we also, I just search dinosaurs, and I got the Gatherer here, so I have a big list. And also Dromosaur, 2 in a red creature, 2/3. Whenever Dromosaur blocks or becomes blocked, it gets +2/-2 until end of turn.
Fun. We need the one that where it does damage. It takes damage. We throw in lands. Which one is that one?
That's the. Did we just do that?
Oh, so Daniel called out Runic, just like you guys said, but he asked about Nezahal.
Nezahal we can. Like we're getting up there in the mana curve though, so we do that. The other one I was thinking of was Ranging Raptors.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's in my. I just built this really cool Gruul deck that really wants everyone to block one creature, and I found the strongest cards are actually enrage creatures. So I give a creature like this Nemesis Mask, and then in general Marheart, all creatures block. The creature attacking gets +3/+3 for each creature blocking it. So you basically get max benefit. You get to pull out all the lands in your deck, or draw a whole bunch of cards. Or one of the strongest ones, frankly, is going against token armies, which is the little raptor. It's a mono red raptor, and it deals 2 damage to the creature's controller for each creature blocking it. And basically, if they have, I don't know, maybe only 40 life, and they have 20 creatures, they're guaranteedly dead. So I really like that. Enrage is so fun. Stoked to see it come back. Hopefully, like stronger.
Yeah, we're only at 49 in the main deck right now. Not bad. Like, this is definitely a huge beat stick.
Ooh, there's Cherished Hatchling. 1 in a green, 2/1. When Cherished Hatchling dies, you may cast dinosaur spells this turn as though they had flash. And when you cast...
That one it's fun. I'm iffy on just because, like, we need to make sure... Well, I guess we won't have a lot of mana up.
But it does have, and whenever you cast a dinosaur spell this turn, it gains. When this creature enters the battlefield, you may have it fight another target creature. Could you technically save your Cherished Hatchling? Oh, no, it has to die. Never mind.
I sound a really strong fetch spell, land ramp spell here, boys. Thunderbird Migration, and it's dinosaur typo. So, as an additional cost to cast Thunderbird Migration, reveal a dinosaur card from your hand or pay 1. So it costs 3. At sorcery speed as well. Search your library for a basic land card. Put it on the battlefield tapped. So, assuming you're playing typo, which is nothing but dinosaurs, that's your Cultivate, right? Or is it Cultivate?
Yeah, but Cultivate lets you get 2. This one only lets you get 1.
No. Whatever one that just fetches for 1, anyways. Which one is that one again? I can't remember. There's just the classic. There's the classic 2-drop. I can't remember what it's saying.
Yeah, it's a class. You might as well go with 2-drops because like Cultivate's better along with Kodama's Reaches, stuff like that, right?
But for a turn 1, maybe unless you're ramping out. I don't know. I still see some merit for 2 at sorcery speed, sure. But if you guaranteed to have a dinosaur in hand, you're ramping pretty quick. And let's see what we got. What we got on the list so far?
What's that one called?
We're playing with dinosaurs here. Why not? Thunderbird Migration. On average, I think you'll be able to, especially early game. Not very strong late game. I don't think you'd be happy at all, especially if you're digging for solutions. You'd be pretty upset to get a late game 2-drop sorcery speed ramp spell. But I absolutely, especially when it comes to the first couple turns when you're really trying to build up your board state to be able to produce a lot of dinosaurs, especially with this loyal raptor here. I on its own, I wouldn't even pair it with Grady. Honestly, I would have a lot of fun with this.
Oh, so Dan mentioned Thundering Spineback, so it's 5 and 2 green. Either dinosaurs get +1/+1.
Oh yeah, the Dino Lord.
Yep, and then it's 5 and a green. Create a 3/3 green dinosaur creature token with trample. That's a 5/5.
Okay, we're definitely going to need some more ramp.
Yeah. So, do we want Llanowar, Mystic Elf?
No. So our best bet is just to get things that let us throw land down, right? So like things like Growth Spiral,
Ooh, I love Growth Spiral. It's so good.
there was one.
So we don't have Kadama's Reach. We don't
have
cultivate.
which is fine.
Growth Spiral is the same as kind of like that one drop I was talking about. That is for the one target creature explores. You may put a land out. If you want to, you may as well just add it down because there's a chance that, especially when it comes to the counters matter, if we want to wrap more, I think a varied option is better than none at all, right? What was that called again? What was that spell? Where'd that go? It was that one drop. Target creature explores.
I think I might have put it on here.
Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Come back to me, baby. Yeah, enter the unknown. Target creature.
Yeah,
control.
it's on here.
Oh,
Okay.
there you go. I can read.
We're at 57.
What about Broken Bond?
What's Broken Bond?
We need removal.
Oh, Beast Within.
Oh, Broken Bonds, absolutely. Destroy target artifact or enchantment, play an additional land.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
good.
love that card. Especially if
Beast
it's
Within we need.
Beast Within.
Bond.
No
Okay,
Chaos
so
Warp for you, Brian. You're bad with Chaos Warp.
Boo. But it's good removal. Sometimes it's good removal.
Okay, what are we looking at right now?
So we got 59.
Right. Whoops. It would be nice if I refresh this.
Right? 73% green, 12% red, 17% blue.
Ooh. Okay. I still don't like the curve, but that's okay.
Seems to be a lot of 1, 2, and 3 drops.
Yeah, but that's fine, because most of that's ramping for our big spells.
That's true.
Oh, you know what? We might as well give haste. Do we really care about Rhythm of the Wild?
I like it because it's either counters or haste, right?
Yeah.
I would keep Rhythm and I'd keep Garruk's Uprising as options there. You could also do Fires of Yavimaya, but I think it's just not as good. That just globally gives haste, and then you can sacrifice it, and then target creature gets +2/+2, and at 3 in Gruul colors.
Okay, so I don't know about you guys, but normally at this stage, I normally count how much ramp I have and how much draw I have, and if it works well for the curve. So we haven't even thrown in any counter spells, and we're in blue.
I mean, with removal, like, how do you want to? For me, especially when it comes to it, like, counter spells are amazing. I would throw in maybe a few.
Yeah,
Especially
usually
if they have
like 2 or 3.
If they really pertain to the deck and something that maybe the deck can do, because there's so many counter spells out there now. So if there's any way you can sneak in a few, but I wouldn't go too heavy. At least, like in terms of removal, you'd have your Chaos Warp and stuff like that. Yeah, 2 or 3 for sure. Max value, you'd want maybe mana drain, because you're going to want to incrementally give potentially on your next turn a lot of mana to yourself. And maybe even what's the one that it's a 5-drop, but it counters target and gives you treasure as well.
Oh, that's
it's expensive though. It's a 5-drop.
Yeah,
also,
it's
Coastal Piracy or something, not that, but yeah, you know what I mean. But yeah, definitely mana drain. If you want to add a counter spell, 100%. Yeah, for sure, it's 2 blue, but then you can, especially if you're bouncing around, and if you, in theory, for me, if you're playing dinosaurs and someone maybe sees that, they don't necessarily pick a deck to go against it, but it has big creatures as well. You're like, well, there's a chance that you're going to be able to, counter that.
How
that,
much
like,
is the
6 or
mana
7.
drain right now?
What was that?
Mana drain? I think it's like $40. 55?
Or at least that's what it said on here.
When I first bought it, my first mana drain, I bought when the last Double Masters or whatever, so it got reprinted and it was a bit cheaper, and I was very, very excited. I'm never going to buy another one in my life. Screw that.
I think we should still put in a traditional counterspell negate and call it that.
I think it's good. Just counter target non-creature spell.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Wait a second. Ferocious. We're playing with dinosaurs. Let's check for a few ferocious spells here. There is Stubborn Denial. Stubborn Denial, especially if you check for creatures power 4 or greater, you are going to just counter the spell for 1. But otherwise, it is a 1-drop counter spell that counter target spell unless they pay 1. So, or non-creature spell. But it's honestly, it's a sleeper spell. It's really, really amazing. I do appreciate it quite a lot, especially late game. Any spell that costs 1 that just immediately counters something is amazing. And then also in red, the redirect spell Bolt Bend. Because if you again check for Ferocious, you're going to be able to use Bolt Bend on the counter spell itself or any ability on the battlefield or on the stack. So definitely Bolt Bend and Stubborn Denial. I must support these two for the deck.
Okay, let's throw those in. All right, so let's count how much ramp we have here. See here.
Feel the enchantments are high.
Two, 3-ish. Well, we'll say 2.5. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13.
Daniel, I'll tell you now if you want to yell at us, come into the chat room. But I do see your comments. I'll bring those up here after he's finished counting.
Man, come to us. Okay, there's actually a card draw spell here that's on the tip of my tongue. It's in my Trishro deck. I think this is going to be necessary for the deck. Especially because where is the Shattered Blades and Armored Scales? There you are, baby. Come to me. All right. Rickshar's Expertise. Draw cards equal to the greatest power among creatures you control.
That actually sounds really good.
It does cost 6, and it has 2 pips, so 2 green. But yeah, this is really, really good. And then you may cast a spell with mana value 5 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. So
how do you spell it?
Rishkar's Expertise.
I would rather put in, like, that's nice for getting a free spell. I would rather put in Shamanic...
Revelation? Yes, because that also has Ferocious. And honestly, if you get the Ferocious check, you're going to gain 4 life for each creature you control with power 4 or greater. And that can be tremendous. That can gain you so much life, and you're going to draw 1 card for each creature you control. I think, at 5 mana too.
Because we do need to cut down on a few spells. Like, our main deck is already getting up there. We haven't even thrown any land.
Yeah, hey. Well, one more removal spell I must support here. Decimate. It does give you destroy target artifact, target land, target enchantment, and target creature.
The problem I have with Decimate is that it tends you have to have all of these targets.
I know, and it can mess you if it's not played right. You could be the only one with an artifact. So I do hear that, but
yeah,
I mean, like, I would still just add it to the list, and if it's cut, it's cut, right? Nothing like a little bit of Decimate. I can hear my Decimate fans in the back going like, yeah, he's support.
So Daniel says, "Bah ha ha! I will log in right now. I swear." He's a fan of the Rishkars, except the way that you spelled it, Daniel, and Brady. He just told me. He just told me the name. He didn't spell it for me. But
no, yes. I did not.
But Daniel mentioned Master Chef, 2 and a green, legendary enchantment background. Commander creatures you own have this creature enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it, and other creatures you control enter the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on them.
Yeah.
And
we do have to command.
Like Ivy Lane Denizen. It's like Ivy Lane Denizen. So if you don't want to add a non-dino, I would 100% add that enchantment. That sounds like a really good recommendation.
And then he also said Guild Artisan, which is
remember that one. Guild Artisan.
Yeah, I'm searching that up. Okay, so it's a red, 1 and a red. It's a background again. So commander creatures you own have, whenever this creature attacks a player, if no opponent has more life than that player, you create 2 treasure tokens. That's actually fairly good.
Because we're an attack-based deck anyway, so our blue's gonna be attacking like crazy.
Yep.
All right.
My boy Blue.
What do you guys think about the Maskwood Nexus? I am seeing a lot of non-dinos, and honestly, having something like that that's still just going to be cranking out dinosaurs is pretty flavorful. And it checks for things, and it changes the stats of the cards in your deck and in your hand as well. That's how good Maskwood Nexus is. So you can fetch for a dinosaur, and it could be anything in your deck as long as you have the Maskwood on the battlefield, I do believe.
I'm fine with that.
It's pretty sassy.
Let's throw it in for now.
Again, it's just a cuddable.
Out still.
Oh. I say you just run, 15 lands, throw the rest, just make a jank. I don't personally ever want to go against this deck now that I'm helping with it, so. I mean, I do, but I'd rather play it than go against it.
So we're obviously having stomping. I'm just going to start throwing in lands.
Yeah, we're at 70 right now.
So stomping grounds, and then we have breeding pools.
Oh my god, this deck is expensive.
No, it's not. How much is it?
We're at like $350. Is this US or Canadian?
Yeah, it's pushing $500.
American.
I loosely know the conversion. That's around 500. It's pushing it.
I like my decks to be like 150 or lower.
Those are rookie numbers.
Decks here and there, but
so we got breeding pool, stomping grounds. Well, all of these different lands can be swapped out for the cheaper ones.
Throwing command tower. What's the triome for it?
Sir. Oh yeah, what is the triome? It's Ketria? Ketria triome.
Yeah, Ketria.
Ketria triome.
Ooh, do we want to add in the Ketria crystal? It's the mana rock.
No, we don't need it.
Okay.
We do not need it. We have a lot going on here, so we gotta start cutting stuff once you throw the lands in.
Okay, so
the child upstairs is thunderous like the dinosaurs. Oh my goodness! Did anyone hear that?
Probably. No.
It was pretty loud. Technology doing work.
Yeah. Discord putting in the what? Give me no lands with red green Booerns.
How much card draw do we have?
Pretty decent, honestly. I think it's pretty decent. It largely seems like the max benefits you're going to be getting from it are permanent basis, or from a permanent basis. So like Beast Whisperer and such. Especially if you're going to be using Orvar to potentially break the game and making replicas of all these juicy boys. There's a decent amount of card draw on its own from that. But I think I'm just reading Faithless Looting right now. And the rest is kind of enchantments, which is good again. But I don't know and Big Score, for instance. We are running blue. Do you want to do any pay into what's a good example here? I just made Will Scion of Peace, and it's a Formula X deck. So anything like pull from tomorrow, which is draw X cards, then discard a card.
Yeah, or
Stroke of Genius, or Mind Spring again. Yeah. So X blue again. Mind Spring, Sorcery Speed though. Is there anything? Yeah. So pull from tomorrow, I'd recommend. That's an instant speed. That could be really, really strong. Stroke of Genius is X, 2 colorless and a blue. Target player draws X cards, so that could be if you're dying, no matter what, you can really help someone. Mind Spring is at Sorcerer Speed. Silver Scrutiny is at Sorcerer Speed. Ingenious Mastery is also at Super Speed. Yeah, I just honestly between those two. Commander's Insight. Actually, wait, this is one that we have to add. Commander's Insight. 3 blue though, okay, in the pip. But for X, target player draws X cards plus an additional card for each time they've cast a commander from the command zone. That could be really, really good. Just got to work on the curve with your mana bases, and who cares about the 3 blues in the cost? That sounds awesome. Especially if you,
awesome, but that's only if you're planning on casting your commander like crazy, right? And hopefully we just don't do that.
Well, I mean, like you might have to, right? Like, depending if you want to win turn, really, really early. I think sometimes, especially when you have 2 commanders, people will likely be targeting them and trying to work against your strategy. So if at the end of the day you are able to max out and get a bunch of ramp, and let's say you have been ramping a whole bunch, maybe getting your commanders out more than 3 times between the two of them, seeing 3 additional on that X, I still think it carries weight. But otherwise, yeah,
I don't know.
The 3 of the pip.
So like when I look at stuff like that, like you're looking at the ceiling, I look at the floor. I always look at the floor no matter what.
The air, man.
Right? Yeah. So
I hear you.
The floor of it is horrible, right?
Well, I mean, the art's funny. They're looking at the ground kind of. But he's like, huh.
Okay, so I got 25 lands in there right now. I got 7 of each basic land. Got the Triome, Stomping Grounds, Breeding Pool.
Well, what about Pull from Tomorrow, at least, for 2...
Pull from Tomorrow.
Drawing X cards at instant speed is really tasty. Draw X, then discard a card? That's really awesome.
Well, let's go back. How many card draws do we have? We have like some pseudo draw and some actual draw.
Well, I mean, we have the Raptor. We have the. Did we add Archmage Emeritus? Yeah. So Archmage Emeritus, Beast Whisperer.
Some of those are like pseudo draw, and some are actual draw.
Yeah, like the Runic Armor Sword is circumstantial.
Yeah, so I call that like 0.5 or like half a draw, almost like a scry.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, like Archmage, we have enough instants of sorceries that it is pretty much a draw, right? Yeah. We have Beast Whisperer that pretty much is a draw, right? Italy Primal Storm kind of is like a draw, yet kind of not, but like,
Guardian Project as well, yeah. I think even Garruk's Uprising is going to be really tasty.
Let's take out Kami of Celebration.
So Daniel wanted to add in Karuga.
Yeah, it's too expensive. I don't think especially I'd rather like what card draw. If you want card draw, and then suddenly your only other option is impulse drawing, and again it's a creature, so it's a setup. I think this would be stronger in like a Prosper deck, I suppose.
So
the thing is, like card draw is great, but like if we don't have like the mana to support it, it's pointless having so many cards in our hand, right?
And potentially it's just exiling good stuff. So yeah, it's an easy cut.
So I added in Karuga, the macro sage.
Adding stuff, remove stuff.
So,
we need to remove.
So 3, it's the dinosaur hippo. When Karuga, the macro sage, enters the battlefield, draw a card for each other permanent you control with converted mana cost 3 or greater. There's card draw.
That's definitely.
It's also not a dinosaur, though. I don't know. I feel.
It is
about it.
It is a dinosaur.
It's not a dinosaur. Is it a dinosaur?
It's a dinosaur hippo.
Okay, then add it. I'm lying. I take it back. Add it. It's a dinosaur, and it gives you potentially a lot of card draw. Screw it. I thought it wasn't a dinosaur.
And Dan,
it's like, nah. Yeah.
And then Daniel says, "Howling Mine, slanted face."
No. We have too many cards. We need to take them out. We have too many cards. We need to take a bunch out.
You're my boy, Blue. I should watch that movie.
It's so good.
I haven't seen that in a minute.
Pardon? Oh, in a minute. Okay, so you've seen it at least.
Oh yeah, no, old school.
I was about to.
I'm 34 years old. No,
You look good for a 34.
So young.
Thank you. I am. Vampire is a part of my other subtype.
I just turned 35. All right. We have 22 creatures. That seems so small.
Shoot.
Well, technically 24, I guess. We are aging. Brady is the same age as me. We're aging differently.
You guys are young. You guys are so young.
Okay,
What?
so we have 18
How many-
instances. What is this curve we're looking at here?
Curve is horrible. Well, I don't like the curve. I don't know about you guys. I don't like.
We still need to add more lands.
Complaining about 172 with dinosaurs? What? Wait, let me refresh this. I could be wrong. Wait a second. 195, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, the total mana value is 195 from what I can see on mine. But that's not including the fact that we have activated abilities.
I would easily, you know what? Cut the Primal Conqueror. That's easy. That's 7 mana. That's easy on the curve. Because that's, what is that one again? That one's whenever it enters the battlefield, each player exiles cards from the top of the library until they exile an online card. Blah, 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 blah. It's got the thing. 7. I don't know. I think that's a luxury compared to what
And then
I
it
can really do.
and then it transforms into an 11/11 with toxic.
Yeah, I know, but still, I don't know.
All right, cut.
I just at 8, at 7 mana. It's also just going to garner you so much attention. I was going to like hate focus it when you want the deck to basically always, in my opinion, especially when if you're playing Tamir and it's dinosaurs, which is amazing, you should be able to almost always handle most of anything.
We
Honestly,
don't.
like all the other, like Gishath and all the other big bad boys. They're all Naya, and Naya is amazing for responses, but it doesn't have like what, with the exception of like Mana Tithe and
We don't even have boots.
your redirects in red.
You know what? I hate to say this, but I think we have to take out Orbar.
Honestly, right now, I don't see anything that's really
We don't have
really
enough things that
focusing
will
on the
target.
comps, anyways.
Yeah, we don't have enough stuff to target.
Okay,
Yeah,
We
just
have to
take
take
it
out
out,
Orbar.
Orvar's gone.
Yeah.
Should we add in boots?
I mean,
Dinosaurs have 4 feet that don't wear boots.
You can put in Swiftfoot boots.
not your lightning greaves. Why not lightning greaves? Oh,
No,
you know, I know it's true.
Shroud.
You know, the shroud kills me.
Like if you really want to worry about instant speed protection, there's the stealth suit.
You're playing dinosaurs. People need protection from you. You don't need protection.
What's it called? Spell.
It's true though.
Oh, Rogue's Passage. We want to be able to get in.
What?
Oh yeah, you. Well, wait, I don't want to be in you, but we got to get through, right?
You gotta wait for the upkeep and then the untap and then the unblockable. Hell yeah! See, the Rogue's Passage can win games, even if it doesn't.
What's the other one?
Tap for colorless.
For what?
What's the other Rogue's Passage-esque land, like Trapdoor? I know there's another one.
I don't remember. We have 96 cards in the deck right now.
Oh.
How many lands we have? 26? Oh lord, we need so much more.
Yeah.
Okay, I still.
Oh,
think-
do we want Yavimaya, Critical Growth? All lands are forests?
You're honestly you're running 3 color, and as much as you might be helping other green decks, you're still going to be getting the most benefit from that. I think. Mana correction like that is really strong.
We have a lot of green pips.
Hopefully I
still
spell
think we
that.
should take out Commander's Insight.
Well, do it. Yeah, honestly, it is. Then it's 3. It's 3 blue. I think just the 1, 2 blue and X at instant speed. Draw X, discard 1 card. I think that should definitely go into the deck, especially if you're ramping potentially a lot and you know turn like what? There's only actually 2 mana rocks. Are we really doing that?
We have a lot of
2
mana
mana?
rocks. What are you talking about?
All our
Oh,
creatures are
Soul Ring
technically
and
mana
Arcane
rocks.
We have a lot of mana ramp. We
Those
have
are- those
Soul
are
Ring and
cards.
Arcane Signet for mana
Right.
rocks, but we have a lot of mana ramp.
I feel weird whenever. Well, I mean, I guess the commanders themselves aren't too expensive.
No.
I usually have at least 6 minimum for all decks. So at least
Yeah,
6
but, like,
minimum.
Like
Same.
you have Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, but they can blow up, right? So
Yeah.
you're in green. So the one thing we're playing into the taboo, where land destruction is frowned upon. Hence why we have like the Farseeks, the Nature's Lore, stuff like that, right?
I'm starting to see that maybe the
access
enchantments that
tunnel.
are like Song of Freyalise and Cryptolith Rite might not be as strong as they are anymore. Like again, we're not really generating anything that's creating like a bunch of Dino tokens. It's just kind of max value counters matter.
We do
So
have
honestly, we might want to cut one of those.
we do
think we
have
both of
You
the
want to cut both? Yeah.
Right, and the Song of Freyalise.
we have the
Yeah,
Thundering
sure.
Spine back.
Well, I mean, the Freyalise does give counters, and then what's its second clause again? It does indestructible. So
No,
those
no.
creatures gain vigilance, trample, indestructible until end of turn. That could be. I think that's a better setup for the deck than Cryptolith Rite.
But it's 3 turns, so it's kind of like meh.
You're kind of meh. I honestly screw it. Then cut it. That's at least only 4 on the curve.
Which ones are we going?
Song of Freyalise and Cryptolith Rite. Yeah, this is fun. I love this. I want to bring a deck to the channel sometime. That'd be great. I got so many.
A commander.
Yeah, I got too many. I got too many.
Okay, I got rid of Song of Freyalise and used the Cryptolith, right? Okay, remove. I did add in, I put in Access Tunnel, which is tap.
That's what it's called.
Yeah, tab add 1 colorless, 3 tap target creature with power 3 or less can't be blocked this turn. So never mind, it's not that good.
No, take that out. Throw
I
in
just don't-
at least a Field of Ruin or Ghost Quarter.
I
I
didn't.
just held back a joke, and Tanner would be so proud of me. So proud. Target creature. Yeah, Access Tunnel is amazing. Target creature with power 3 can be blocked.
That's good for rogues.
It is.
Yeah. Okay, I put in Field of Ruin.
Field of Ruin. That's the that's pick and choose, destroy target land, right?
Yeah, and everyone fetches a land.
Are you sure about that? You're already going to be potentially making yourself a serious threat with dinosaurs. Do you want to be also give people land grab?
To get rid of a Maze of Myth, I'll do it.
Okay, I hear that. Honestly, I don't like myth at all either. So
There is Frontier by Bivok. And it's the battlefield tapped, but it does do green, red, blue.
All right, I'm good. I'm down for that.
Rejuvenating Springs, 2 for the lands. We're talking about lands, right?
Oh yeah, Rejuvenating Springs. Yes, please Rejuvenating Springs. Oh,
Rejuvenation.
What was that land?
Spire Bluff Canal enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or fewer other lands.
All this card draw. Do we want a Reliquary Tower? I gotta stop hitting my mic. Bloody hell.
Well, Reliquary Tower, it depends.
There's Dreamer
My,
Cascade.
My fellow rogue Brando is always telling me, yes, Reliquary Tower in all decks. But I think, or maybe that could be somebody else. I'm pretty sure it's Brando. Brando really loves Reliquary Tower. Like, at the end of the day, no matter what, like, if you can support an excess of card draw, and you are, on average, going to see that excess in your hands for most turns, I would say, yeah, for sure, add a Reliquary Tower, but you're also...
Is it
potentially-
Mindstone? Is it
Mindstone?
Mindstone that gives infinite hand size too?
no,
There's
that's Spellbook.
Spellbook? Oh, sorry.
Spellbook, and also, Thought Vessel is amazing because it gives you infinite hand and tops are colorless. It's really strong too.
Do we want Thought Vessel?
I'd say
At least
Thought
have
Vessel
2
over-
four ways of having infinite hand size?
over the Reliquary Tower because at least you have.
I was going to do both. So at least you have
I don't know.
two forms of infinite hand size.
I mean, if you have the Yavimaya, screw it. I say yeah. Just because you never know that Reliquary Tower, you might want that for mana, for an actual colored mana as opposed to colorless. That's just the one issue I have with it. If you're not running a lot of card draw, and there is a good amount at least kind of going on here, but again, it's all very circumstantial it seems. So I would just say I would go for Mana Rock, an early game Mana Rock that could still potentially give you. But there's no recursion. I don't know how to actually answer this one.
Oh,
I don't know. I'd say it's a Witch's Own.
we should throw in Scavenging Ground because we don't care about our graveyard.
Oh, yeah, that's XL targeted graveyard, isn't it?
All graveyards.
All graveyards, yeah. Especially if there's
We
graveyard,
don't care about ours.
graveyard decks.
Scav. Engine.
Okay. We're at 100 cards now. How are we looking overall?
This painting is beautiful. So the curve looking at 179.
Oh, scavenger grounds? Is that what we're talking about?
Scavenger grounds. Yeah. 7 cost pairing. Honestly, that's pretty tasty.
1 cell there, 1 cell 6, tutor 7.
So we're at 33 lands.
Oh, we need more lands.
So I can add in like Misty Rainforest and stuff if we really wanted to, but I'm trying not to.
We gotta take out stuff.
Rootbound Crag.
Because we're at 101 cards now.
Okay, I would vote Elemental Bond. We're for card draw. I know it's great for card draw, but we're waiting for beginning of upkeep trigger, and I think there's a lot that enters the battlefield. No, sorry.
I think
Colossal
the one
Majesty.
that I would
Colossal
probably
Majesty. Cut Colossal Majesty, please. I think you're waiting for your upkeep to trigger that, and I think it's too slow. Even Family's Favor could get cut. You're waiting for a single combat to give yourself a shield counter. If that's your only source of adding a shield counter in the deck, I don't think it's worth it because I don't see actually a lot of any other kind of counter. I think that's the only shield counter permanent, or that's the only thing giving shield counters at all in the deck so far. Hey,
yeah,
I would probably
might as well just cut it.
So Colossal Majesty.
Colossal Majesty because we don't want to wait for the upkeeps. Family's Favor because on average it's whenever a creature attacks, it gets the shield counter, and then you can remove it. I don't know.
The shield counter is nice because if blue attacks unblocked, it gets the shield. And then you're able...
I'd say cut it.
Okay, Family's Favor is cut.
So what's Sue's saying?
Yeah, Soothsaying I was going to say next, just because if we're going to draw a bunch, we don't really care.
Where's Soothsay? Is that enchantment still?
Yeah, enchantment, very last one.
Okay.
I would even say Masquerade Nexus, screw it. You're not going to get any benefit from that. There's not enough non-creature dinosaurs. Or creature
Not only
dinosaurs.
that, it's kind of slow.
Yeah, I mean, if you want it to be weird, like it's so strong in my Baru deck because it's like a secret commander. It's just a bunch of mana dorks, and all of a sudden they're worms. If you know who Baru is, but I don't know. In this deck, I think it's purely circumstantial. At 4 mana, I would say if you want to add anything that's 4 in this deck, that's an artifact, add Vidalcan Orrery. You know.
And on top of that, it's just 4 on cast plus another 3 for activation, right? So it's technically 7 mana if you want to think about it.
One turn with it, yeah, I'd say cut it. Easy. Easy peasy.
How many lands do we want to run?
I'd say 35.
Okay,
Right on.
we're at 36 right now.
36 is still good.
Okay, so we're at 100 cards.
We got a lot of card draw. We got a lot of stuff that like lets us batch and throw things down. So... like, we have, like, something stupid like 11 or 12 mana ramp cards.
Oh, Agent's Toolkit. Yeah, okay, so that can replace the... It's already in there, so hell yeah. Right on.
Yeah.
So we're at 100 cards right now.
Yeah, we are at 100 cards right now.
This is looking pretty tasty.
Wait a minute. Do we have to be at 98 cards?
No, because it's including the commanders.
Better, okay. So we have currently 20 creatures, which seems nuts to me. 20 creatures is so low to what I've normally run. And then we have 12 sorceries, 36 lands, 10 enchantments, which still seems low to me. 5 artifacts, which this is more instants and sorceries than I typically run. 15 instants.
15 and 12, hey. I would, you know what? I would say cut Decimate.
If we cut Decimate, we need to throw in more interaction, because we only have,
that's what I'm thinking. I'd honestly just throw in a counterspell.
We have it in there already. Oh, we could put You Didn't Ask Please, or...
I'd add another counterspell.
You know what?
Or if you want to win the game, Cyclonic.
Don't say that with Dan here. He said nothing, Daniel. Nothing. Nothing was said.
Rift of Cyclones. It's a different spell.
If we take out Decimate,
Okay. I did.
throw in at least something like a Croson Grip or something at least.
Ooh,
Nature-
Croson Grip,
I
yeah.
like Croson Grip.
No, split second. You know what? That could. Yeah, I'd say Croson Grip. You can never mess around with, or when you do, like it's. I love split second. I'm really grateful. There's not a lot of it, but it's so strong. Like sudden spoiling can really win you the game.
Oh,
Like,
I love sudden spoiling.
so strong. Makes people everyone just glare at you. You're like, wow.
Man, this definitely looks like an interesting deck here.
I'm loving it so far. It's pretty cool. I'd say there's different directions you can take it to make it even more broken, but as it is, $404. Oh, isn't? Where are we
Oh,
at?
it's so expensive.
Yeah, 404. So that's kicking around like $600 for the finished product.
That's so
Ooh, the
expensive.
Fungusaur is gross looking. He's like ugly cute. With his dealt damage, put a 1/1 counter on it.
You should look at the 3rd or 4th edition. That's the original drawing. Those ones are actually, that one's kind of fun.
You want
I
me to-
still think, I don't know about you guys. I still think we should run some more removal. We only have like we have like virtually no
What are-
removal.
What are we removing?
Oh, your
That
opponent-
attitude, sir. That attitude. Well, Pongify, Beast Within.
Pongify would be great too.
Pongify 1-drop. So, like, honestly, if it's removal, add in one. Even Resculpt, actually. I really do appreciate Resculpt. You are replacing the thing with a 4/4
Do we want to remove a land?
You want to go to Reality Shift?
Reality Shift. That's the
Yeah.
Manifest one, right?
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Manifest could really, especially if they have, what is it again? Like, Senseis. That's really good against Sensei players. Manifest their Senseis. They're just.
Okay, I'm gonna remove burgeoning for this card.
Yeah, we don't need burgeoning.
Okay, so what's the card
I
called
mean,
again?
Really, I would argue against that myself, especially if anyone
what
might
would
be
you
trying to
wanna remove?
outpace you. I think
Well, that's the
instead
question.
of burgeoning. Let me see.
Either take out burgeoning or take out exploration. Pick one.
I would say exploration because on average, oh god, the balance of that. I don't know. I would still say my vote is keep both. Find something else, like Master Chief or Master Chef.
But Master,
over 1/1 counters. I don't know. Your commander's already going to be doing a lot of that, so I think commander creatures you have. This enters the battlefield. Oh wait, you know
Yeah.
what? No. Harder commanders with that.
yeah, like that.
That is strong. I take that back
right? So
I
it's
take
double
that back.
triggers.
completely. Yeah. Okay. I'd say burgeoning.
Okay, so burgeoning's gone. Yeah.
Because you could lean into drawing a lot of cards and potentially always being able to at least a land a turn, guaranteeing 2. Burgeoning is amazing for the beginning stages, especially if you're really, really behind. Even late game, someone can start doing some crazy stuff, and if you
Right.
already hit your strategy where you have a bunch of card draw engines going on and you have a huge hand and someone happens to play a bunch of lands, you can still get the benefit from that. Take a breath. But yeah, I think, yeah.
Okay, so, and then what was the card I was adding in there?
Reality Shift?
Reality Shift?
Yeah, that's the Manifest one. I'd still say Resculpt because it's Exile and it's artifact or creature in blue. That's fun. But you are replacing it with a 4/4 flyer, I do believe.
Yeah, it's a 4/4.
Flyer?
So
I don't want to give them a flyer. That sounds like a
I
bad
think it's a
time.
4/4 flyer. I think
like
it's a flyer.
I like Reality Shift, even though like it just targets a creature, you're also getting rid of their top card. Right? So like
Again, Senseis, yeah. If someone is rocking Senseis, you're making them really grumpy with you.
yeah, so especially like if they're like they tutor, and they throw on top, it's like, okay, well, now I'll respond to that. I got some actions, and then
Well,
you just
speaking of well, speaking of tutors, what I'm noticing now that we're not adding any tutors.
yeah, we're not we're keeping this around a 6 or 7 power level.
I
mean,
typically, I'll be
fetching-
honest, I don't play a lot with searches or fetches.
Well,
Other
you can
lands, I
replace
should
it
be
easy
honest.
with just card draw.
Yeah.
Card draw easily replaces fetch.
Card draw's king.
I would say if you do want to add in something flavorful, ecological appreciation because it has ecological in the name, and we were talking about dinosaurs here. And what's his name? Grady's all about that. So anyways, search your library and graveyard for up to 4 creature cards with different names that each have mana value X or less, and reveal them. An opponent chooses 2 of those cards, shuffle the chosen cards into your library, put the rest onto the battlefield. Exile ecological appreciation. So that's fun. It's flavor. I would add it just for flavor. Hey, that could be...
We're reviving the DNA for the dinosaurs?
Yeah, it's just fun. But otherwise, yeah.
I don't even know what I would remove in here.
Yeah, at this point, I don't even know. I'm just
if you were to do that, you want to remove something. You would remove a card draw, like an instant speed card draw or a sorcery speed card draw. I would say go for instant speed, just because like if it's either you're tutoring or you're drawing a card.
Do we want the growth spiral? I like growth spiral though.
Growth spiral, and it also goes with the broken bonds. So you're drawing cards, you're getting a benefit from it. So no matter what, you get something from. Yeah, just more than one, like especially in Commander, if you get more than one ability a card, like it just.
I would say
if you're dropping a bunch, if you're already drawing a bunch of cards, or if you already have a bunch of lands in hand. Sorry.
I would say to remove the big score because that's a 4 CMC.
You are giving yourself treasure.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, and an instant speed. I don't know. I would argue against it, but
you're tutoring at the same time, right? So it's give or take. Or you know what? Let's just take out the mana drain. Who cares?
I mean, you just said power 6, right? Take out the mana drain. You said power 6, right?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, power 6, power 7.
Yeah, so cut the mana drain.
What was it? Eco.
You're making people afraid of you with your dinosaurs. You may as well take out the mana drain.
Say ecological?
Dinosaur. Ecological appreciation.
Appreciation.
There we go. Got it.
I just shuffled it into the deck. I do appreciate the name is flavorful. It does play into Mr. Grady there. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't like that he's a scientist. I still find that weird. He's not a scientist.
Hey, yo, I am right now so excited. So I just had a little rest in peace moment with my John Eradicus brew, one of my favorite decks I've ever had in my life. But I ripped it apart recently to start working on this tournament deck. There's some cards in there I really needed. And then I started realizing I was looking at the where did it go? Where did it come back to me? There's this, it's from Doctor Who. I have one of them right now in front of me. It's Rassilon, who's whenever you... So listen to this. Rassilon, the war president. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 2 life and exile the top card of your library. You may play that card for as long as it remains exiled. And then it has, each non-creature spell you cast from exile has Conspire. And I was just like, that is so cool. That is so cool. I'm gonna halt the progress on this deck, and honestly, for this channel here, I'd absolutely contribute this one to an episode with you boys. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah,
He's Dimir, and costs 5 mana. So the deck doesn't even depend on the beginning of upkeep trigger. It's just everything I can that can basically steal things in X. So I have like Tasha's the Witch Queen, Nachi, Moonsage, Dwathi Voidwalker, Cunning Rhetoric, just fun stuff. Mono Black Theft or Dimir.
Pardon? Fun stuff. Get out of here. I know what you need. You need probably one of my top feared cards that we went over. Turgid. Ugh.
Turgid, I just her part.
Good.
I love Turgid.
Good.
I love Turgid.
But we're going to probably call it, I think. Are you guys happy with this?
I think you're done.
Are we happy with this list?
I think you got a brew going.
All right.
You know what? You're going to want to playtest it until you get it right. So
exactly.
You want to come back to it, right?
So this is our brew for Brady and Owen. Or sorry, Blue and Owen Grady. Brady and Grady.
You just had to invite me down for this episode.
Yeah, I did, so I could be confused on the names. But this is our brew. Let us know your thoughts on it. I'm definitely going to have to share this out and get some feedback for us and see how we did. But thank you for all of those that did tune in and listen. And Brady, please pitch to your heart's content. Where can people find you guys?
Rogue's Passage on YouTube, especially right now. Instagram, Facebook. You can find us on Discord. Bunch of cool stuff coming we already have so much to talk about and share. So if you just want to come and find us, we have, I think, like 15 episodes now, and our next podcast episode is around the corner. So lots to look forward to.
What was your guys' last episode?
Our last episode, sorry? Our last episode was the billions of damage moment with Torolf deck on the battlefield, and then there was a controversial dice roll. It was really fun. Coming up here November 19th, we're going to be live streaming a tournament that we're throwing. We've called it the Rite of Passage.
Nice.
It's going to be pretty sweet. We've basically filled up our seats already. It's pretty insane. The response we're getting from it is pretty great. Steven at First Player is helping us host it there. So if everyone could focus some love too on First Player, they are an upcoming store here in LGS in Calgary. Really love them there. So yeah,
awesome.
Check that out.
And Mr. Sherman, where can everybody find our stuff?
I don't know. Where can he find it? You can check us out on YouTube. We're on there, and we publish a podcast every week. You can catch us on whatever you use to download podcasts. And we're obviously on Twitch at the same time, streaming live. So sometimes we'll stream live games. Sometimes we're going to do deck techs like this.
Yeah.
And we also have our website, Into the 99.
They're okay. I've heard okay things.
And I have the power to kick. And yeah, so we, like I said at the beginning of this, we used to do this. We haven't done this. And now we have some people to redo this. So we'll probably be kicking it off. We're kind of thinking a bi-weekly kind of thing. So yeah, Brady, if you do have a commander that you would like to have us brew with you, I can't say no.
This is my champagne box, but really what's inside is a humongous amount of almost made commander decks. On top of my collection already, I have so much to contribute to this channel, so by all means, I would love to be back. Also forgot, Spotify. Find us on Spotify, please. Thank you.
There you go. And with that, guys, thank you for tuning in. We hope you have a wonderful evening, and thank you for hopefully enjoying. Peace.
Yeah. Laters.